Want to dominate the gaming world? Join the ranks of dedicated gamers. Subscribe and conquer.
He got nerfed
In the last couple months. What were the nerfs again? Remind me.
I think it was mainly BAT related, right? Which is a really big nerf when you play the hero as a carry. I'm going to look up the exact...
Yep. Go ahead and open up.
Base attack speed decreased from 120 to 95.
Okay.
More mana cost on Aphotic Shield. Less Aghanim Shard bonus on Curse of Avernus. Less strength from the Strength talent. Less damage from the Damage talent. And less heal damage from the Mistcoil talent. He just got like 4 nerfs together in one patch.
Okay.
After being picked like 2 times in a pro game as a carry. He got... I think this was probably one of the 3 most nerfed heroes in the patch we just had. But with that said, I love the pick here. I just think it's a really good idea, and I think it goes to show that despite being nerfed that hard, the hero still has a place when the conditions are good enough. I love Talon's approach to this game overall. And therefore, Gaimin Gladiators will probably win.
Yeah, I assume this will be going 3 games because of your prediction, of course. I will say, and I'm going to give Valve some credit here, Cinder, since I don't do that enough sometimes. It is very hard to balance heroes when when the line is between carry and support. Very hard indeed.
And it's also hard to balance heroes if you want to balance them for pro games and pub games alike.
Yes.
Which is why a hero like Pudge, when he's viable in pro Dota, he gets nerfed after 2 weeks because then he's way too good for pubs. So
that's right, and
Abaddon is kind of in that category.
Wait, was anybody getting sick of Pudge though? He was fun to watch.
Oh, there's plenty of people that hate Pudge because they play against the...
I don't know. I'm gonna say
I miss my boy.
There's never been a point in time like now where somebody first picks Pudge on your team, and nobody's raging about it. There was always rage before 100% of the time. Now it's just dependent on who picks.
Right. Now people will just rage at something else. It's not that they've stopped raging.
No, of course.
Found other problems.
No, of course. They're
some interesting pulling shenanigans down here. Both looks like Jabs is really trying to break up the lane placement here, and they will be successful now with pulling this up to... Looks like they're just going to go the really long way here for the Batrider.
Yep. And we've been seeing this level 1 Firefly from the Batriders ever since the change to the Flame Break, and well, then again, it is a core Batrider, I suppose. We're seeing a lot of support Batrider not too long ago. Another difficult hero to balance, of course. But from the 23 Savage standpoint on this carry, Abaddon, what is the build? Do you want to see the Harpoon as the panel we're talking about?
Harpoon Manta.
Okay. We're not going to see any Radiance, because that's always fun.
I mean, you could maybe make a case for Radiance here, but I think Harpoon Manta is going to work better for the timing that their lineup has. It depends. It's Talon. So that generally leads to slightly slower builds and more late game focus. And if that's what you want to do, then Radiance is definitely in his wheelhouse. I think 23 as a player also really likes Radiance in general. So he might be gravitating toward it. We'll see.
Well, looking at the Gaimin Gladiators lineup, one thing I like better versus their previous one is that they kind of set the tone in some respect, where they can force fights. As Celery is getting gone on right now. Blood grenades are being expended ad nauseum, and Celery will be taken out by Jabs, who gets that first blood. Q will live. Jabs not so lucky, but getting that first blood gold will still feel pretty good.
Yeah, and despite dying, despite Bat dying, Spirit Breaker TPing back to base. For most other supports, this really sucks, but Spirit Breaker will be able to connect pretty quickly. So he will be back down there for Bat's respawn, and it won't be a 1v2 situation, which often ends up happening when a support ports out a lane. You have 30 seconds of weakness, but he's already back in town with that Charge of Darkness. Mikoto winning mid lane as expected. I mean, this is a Lina-favored matchup.
It is.
And Mikoto has been playing really well so far, so can't say I'm surprised to see him dwarfing Quinn in this lane.
But I do think Quinn will get off, maybe not to the better start, but I have to hold that thought.
This is some serious damage.
5. Firefly is there. Blood grenades continuing to flow from every orifice imaginable. Celery chasing the cow. Q's going to get decay, but I think that's level 1, right?
Yeah, so it doesn't even deal damage, so he doesn't break the healing salve.
Dyrachyo barely gets out as well.
Yeah, both teams surviving on a beat stick of health, but Dyrachyo needs to be careful not to get charged now. If he gives them any vision of him, he's going to be in some serious trouble, and he knows this. He will play very defensively, but I do think Q is going to look for the dive now.
Oh, the charge is coming! Darachi out! Are there more blood grenades? No.
No bash.
Yeah, no 17% this time.
They are going to try to keep the pressure up on him. If they bully him enough, he might not be able to heal up with the CS, and you can see jabs.
Yeah, this is really well played from Talon. Blood right coming, though.
No glyph available.
Yeah, now he's back to a respectable amount of HP. But I think the issue we were talking about last game for Quinn is the fights just were never really set. They were just completely scattered. He couldn't really get off any good AoE. But now you have Rupture, you have Roar. Basically, anytime you use one of these spells, likely somebody's going to try to help, and it's going to help consolidate the lineup a bit to be able to get off these AoE spells. But they have a lot of pick-off on Gaimin. Roar into Mystic Flare, Sonic Wave, so much burst. Yeah. We'll see if they're able to take advantage of that in the mid-game.
The thing Talon have against this is they have long range. They have ET and Lina that can play from the backline. And they have a Baden, who is not a valid target for any of the spells you just talked about, which is a big part of why I really like the pick here. And I don't think Gaimin were expecting it, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure.
This Abaddon pick is definitely out of left field. I don't know if it got picked in the tournament after the nerfs, actually. It got picked week 1, before the D-patch. And I think since then it's been untouched, I want to say. Maybe one
top
game.
lane, you had to give a compliment to the great Abaddon pick as he's now taken out.
Yeah, he's definitely killable until level 6.
Well, what do you think of Elder Titan? This has been a hero that I feel like we've only seen against Morphling, specifically.
I would say PSG LGD picks it more or less into anything. And it's also one of Talon's best, so it makes sense that they will run it if it's a good hero in the patch. It's looked pretty good overall. I'm not sure if I can put my finger on exactly what changed so that he became popular again. Maybe just other heroes getting nerfed. Sometimes it's all it takes. Relatively speaking, the hero might be better than before. The thing you said about Morphling definitely rings true, but it's not the primary reason he's back, I think. This is a very long TP.
Yes, it is. Oh my god. Oh my goodness.
And they know where he TP'd because of Thirst.
Yeah, true.
So this is not really going to be a surprising gank up top. But it might be surprising that Q is here as well.
Yeah,
It's actually a 4-man rotation.
Will he get the vision with Sticky here? Oh, he's going to show in lane in just a moment. It is nighttime as
they want to get the Wisdom Rune, yeah.
Q, all right, with the bash. That's a good start for him. TP coming in, though, from Quinn. As he's going to blink in and take the Wisdom Rune.
He's also going to get a kill.
Yes, indeed. And that's a big one onto Jabs. Position 3 Bat Rider will fall. And Q, he might be next. Arcane Bolt is coming, and that's a very casual and easy double kill for Quinn.
Yeah, they were definitely not expecting that rotation. What happened to the other Wisdom Rune? They got both of them, or is there... Wait, hang on, what happened?
Hit enter and tell me.
Why can I not find it?
Dyrachio got it.
Oh, yeah, you're right. So they got both Wisdom Runes, and they killed 2 heroes over here. That's absolutely huge for the side of Gaimin. Really great TP from Quinn there to set that up. And it was very clear that they weren't expecting it with their Spirit Breaker, the way they played that fight, that there was going to be a Queen show up. So
Charge will hit. Needs a bash, though. Echo Stomp not quite in range, so more rotations kind of wasted here from Talon. And just these little things adding up to a 1K net worth lead so far for Gaimin Gladiators. Now, 23 Savage is level 6. Is he holding on to a point, I assume?
Yeah, he should.
Yes, he is. I mean, itemization-wise, what does Gaimin want to buy against the Abaddon carry?
I don't know if he's the hero they really need to solve primarily through items. Hang on, Dyrachio. Oh, nothing's going to happen here. He's going to dodge this stomp again. Oh, it's not even going to be completed, actually.
Cancelled Echo Stomp.
I think there's some merit to Beastmaster focusing on something like Drums of Slom, like the panel talked about. I think it's a little bit of a double-edged sword, where if you have the drums, you can stand better, but maybe the damage is a bit overwhelming later from Talon. So that's one approach they could take, is to have some more like just overall sustain against the Abaddon running in.
Oh, he's
a general great
Helmadam though.
Yeah, it was probably going to be. I mean, you can go Dom into drums, but I don't know if he's going to do that. I would say overall one of the best items against Abaddon is just a Force Staff. It's really good this game. You're going to get away from the Abaddon. You're going to be able to reset position when a hero gets charged. You're going to be able to reset a position when they get ET comboed. So maybe that will be an item, but I don't really know who's going to buy it among the supports. Maybe Undying can buy it.
23 Savage. He's going to have to level up that borrowed time. Might not even save him. He's going to pop it. Now they're going to ignore him. Aphotic Shield to follow, though, but now he's going to be Ancient Sealed. And Quinn not even bothering Sonic Waving. That is another very easy and casual kill there for the likes of Quinn.
Yeah,
Now they're going to run to Q.
Didn't need to use the roar either.
And they have no way really deal with Q. And Quinn back to the mid lane. So in terms of net worth, he's catapulted Makoto by a bit, as the Invis Rune will be taken by Makoto, and Quinn actually blinks right in there. But you can see most of the damage being applied to Ollie instead. As the Sonic Wave does clip Q, another solo one, and he's gonna be able to walk away. So let's see if Makoto, oh, he actually did use the Invis Rune already.
He needs to be careful here on Quinn. He has the sentry though. So we'll react in time. Looking very healthy for Gaimin Gladiators now this game. All 3 lanes are doing very well.
Yep,
Bottom.
This is when they're at their best, when winning the laning stage.
Yeah, bottom looked like it might become dodgy, but Duraccio surviving on a beat stick of health that time was really important for a Bad Rider to not progress further in the game. And Abaddon, not the best hero at playing from behind, really. So Talon, similar to last game, don't have the most play potential, but this time around their laning has gone significantly worse. They will find Celery, maybe.
Oh my god, the Soul Rip
won't.
healing him up. Q is gonna die in the river. And the roar comes out from Ace as Gaimin Gladiators starting to run away with this.
This is gonna be very snowbally, I'm afraid. With this Beastmaster Dom, they can just keep running down lanes. They're stronger, they're finding the picks. Talon's heroes are for the most part pretty reactive unless Batrider is farmed, but he isn't. You can see this full-on combo, really good spellcasting here from Makoto. That was absolute maximum output, but not enough anyway. And Celery will survive. And they get two kills in a tower.
I mean, game number 1, we also thought Gaimin was gonna run away with it, with the Brood starting to take these towers.
The difference was how the lanes went and the overall lineup structure, right? I feel way, way, way more confident in Gaimin in this game than I did in the previous one, 12 minutes in. I just think this time around they have very strong initiative with the Beastmaster Dom, with the Skywrath Mage. Bloodseeker can connect with them, and Talon last game found a lot of kills off of setting up with their Lina together with either the Naga or the Anti-Mage or the Techies. This time around, the supports are... Sure, you've got charge, but you don't have that like mega damage output from the Techies or the surprise factor in the same way.
We have a lasso. Duracio's going to find an LS. Oh, not even bothering with the stun, actually. Just the Laguna.
It's a pretty decent kill. That'll help.
They're going to need a lot more of that.
Yeah, Midas now completed on the Abaddon, so begins his comeback.
Okay. Yeah.
This is pretty slow. He's going to not go Radiance with his Midas, it looks like. He wants to go for the Harpoon into Manta.
So this is another thing I noticed, is the treads now, instead of phase boots, which is the typical, is that because of the nerf to his attack speed, would you say?
Could be.
I would say that's unusual.
Yeah, maybe this is more effective now. Since you lost that attack speed, you have to compensate. It's very possible. Just for overall farming speed more so than anything else, this might be significantly more damage per gold than the phase boots. Yeah, it's not fun being a Baden here. Like, this Beastmaster is actually super strong against you right now. He can't kill you, but he can bully you so much that your ult is going to proc, and then someone else will kill you.
Yep.
Obviously, a pretty big improvement to Abaddon that the Aphotic Shield became a barrier as part of this patch. Beforehand, it was a flat damage block. Now it scales with your armor or magic resist, depending on the damage type you take. But either way, look like Gladiators have more than enough to pierce through it for the time being, at least. But I think, knowing Talon, they'll probably find a decent enough way of slowing things down here. I don't think it's going to be super easy for Gaimin to just absolutely trash the map. I do think they will be taking some significant initiative. We're seeing it here, Tofu and Quinn together.
Oh, they're going to try to initiate. And they're going to get a lot of damage done with that Mystic Flare. Makoto trying to shrug it off, but he's not going to get out as Celery gets him. But the counter initiation is now there from Talon, but they only get a support. Sonic Wave from Quinn, not going to do a ton, though. I feel like we said that a lot these last 2 games.
He died to Decay, of all things, on the Lina.
Yeah.
In that gank. I actually think without the Decay, he might have even lived.
It was close, yeah.
That was because Quinn didn't use the Sonic there. He was reserving it. They thought they could get it without it, and it was so close that it ended up working out. Heavy charge onto Ace. Cannot connect.
Yeah, Helm of the Overlord almost online, and we've seen a ton of games with Ace on Beastmaster, whether it's Drums of Slum or the Overlord, and it just feels like he has such high impact. As, of course, as I say that, he's getting ganked.
Good call.
Thank you. Pull a Cinder in.
High impact.
He did buy the recipe, though, so not really that much loss, honestly.
It was a pretty high impact recipe purchase.
Yeah.
Loses less gold.
I don't remember the last time I don't think he's going to go for Ags, but can you remember a time you've seen Ags plus Helm of the Overlord?
No.
I feel like it's always one or the other.
Right. It's usually Vanguard Vanguard drums, or I mean Vanguard Ags. Oh, hang on. Should be a freebie here. Celery. Flame broken back.
Yep, looks to be done.
This is pretty good slowdown from Talon. It was ramping up for Gaimin, now it's only a 2k lead. The heroes are starting to get some farm. We know the Abandoned Midas is eventually going to kick in more and more. And I do think his matchups in the game are good enough that, despite being behind, I don't think this hero has to be very high on the net worth chart to be effective, as long as they're playing together and using their cooldowns well. So, definitely not too worrying for Talon. Man, this weapon looks really cool when he's swinging that with that attack speed. Love to see it.
That's a scythe.
The scythe. Very
lore, not friendly.
What do you think was the inspiration for this hero?
Death.
I'm gonna say it reminds you of the Nazgul from Lord of the Rings.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Well, that's kind of Abaddon. Like, he's in that cloak anyway, right?
Yeah. What is it this hero looks like? It's just Arthas is modeling Warcraft 3, right?
Yeah. That's right.
Here goes Roche. There is no way in hell Talon are going to contest this, so Gaimin will claim the first one of these.
Give them credit, though. Like
put the Aegis on Quinn
net worth lead has definitely not grown at all. In fact, it's gone down. I believe it was at 4K just a couple minutes ago.
Yep.
So this Midas starting to pay off for 23 Savage and company. But I mean, this was one of the things that we noticed with a couple of these teams, Talon being one of them. It's kind of slow-paced a lot of times in the early game, but they have shown the propensity to be able to turn it up as well.
Roger with a good dodge there. That could have been scary. They were setting up on him. Okay, Quinn.
Yeah,
that's
shield rune. That means he's invulnerable. They're going to find 23 Savage. Can they burn his ult? I think so. And that's going to be on cooldown for the time being. But the tier 2 tower looks to be Gaimin's to take. Oh, Makoto. He's going to get Ruptured Mystic Flare. It's enough. Big kill for Gaimin Gladiators again. Off the top of this Aegis as well. Means they can continue to take these buildings. But the lasso initiation. Looks like Tofu will fall. The Blood Right's going to connect. They know that borrow time is down, so Quinn, with that Sonic Wave, definitely paying attention to 23 Savage here. But he's too close to the base at this point.
Nice taunt.
By who?
By the Abaddon. You love that one.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
He was going to steal the rune away from Quinn here and just run to bot. Not really going to be using it to find any kill of any sorts, but at the very least, taking it away from the Queen is nice. All right, Quinn. Actually just going to jump Ollie. He will Shadow Emulate TP on. See you later.
Yeah, Quinn opting to go for the Aghanim Scepter next, which he did not go for last game. Another tier 2 for Gaimin.
Oh, he did get drums on Beast. Just the wrong ones.
Yes, regular drums of endurance.
No slomming, only enduring.
Does that mean is there any time you go drums and you don't want to go Boots of Bearing?
Probably. I mean, Until he runs out of charges.
I think I asked you this. Can you refill drums? I don't think we ever tested that.
I actually don't remember, because like nobody does it, right?
Yeah, it was rarely done before Boots of Bearing.
Yeah.
And then now it's like you might as well get Boots of Bearing, I guess.
Yeah. I don't remember if you can. I think you can't.
Up the charge onto Tofu. Another strike. Burst damage from Makoto, who's just TPing out. They didn't finish the kill. Oh my goodness.
Did he not have Dragon Slave ready?
He definitely did. And by definitely, I mean probably.
He thought it was enough, and he just wanted to get out instantly before the TP rotations turned it around, but yep, not enough. Skywrath Mage. It's that little bit of magic resist right there. It's that little bit. Just a 7% extra from that int keeps him alive.
Yeah. And again, Gaimin last game were able to secure the Aegis first. They were able to get some buildings, but then when they were close to the tier 2s, Talon were able to just delay the game. Just getting a pick off here, getting a pick off there for their eventual late game to finally come online. I mean, obviously their lineup is totally different now, but with that Midas purchase from 23 Savage, feels like it is just a delay game. Ollie able to TP out here.
Shadow Amulet TP seems to be his
Oh,
main
Lasso, this is a big one. And Makoto obviously with not Laguna, but he still finds the damage. Very nice pickoff on Talon's side. And this is what they did last game. Like I just said, it was the Brood Mother the Ace was playing that they would continue to pick off. All right, let's look at this. I mean, he definitely has it.
It's so weird to look at. Because the TPs coming in aren't even dangerous for him. It's a Queen of Pain and an Undying, so he would definitely get out, but got scared. Got spooked.
I mean, that is one thing we didn't mention. They have literally one stun on their team, Gaimin.
Yep.
Pretty uncommon.
We've seen, I would say in this tournament in general, I would say we've seen less stuns than usual. There's been some strategies that I haven't truly, in the moment, really appreciated or understood, and then they've worked out just fine with very minimal lockdown. The flow of the game seems to have changed a little bit. This is not going to cut it.
Nope.
Tofu, not even close.
Bulldoze too good.
So, the thing you were talking about similarly to the last game where they started finding picks and not losing their towers, I feel like in this game they've already lost more map control than they did in the previous one.
They have, yeah.
So they only have their bottom towers left, and this time they're not against Brood, it's against the Beastmaster. But at the very least, they've stemmed the bleeding. Because again, a lot of other teams in this tournament would have just kept getting snowballed on by Gaimin Gladiators, but this is why Talon are top 4. It's because they, even under these high-pressure situations, are finding the farm, finding the plays. Yep, okay, this might work.
Wants to try to commit. Jabs is here with the lasso, so they will find the pickoff. Like, when I look at the net worth, like, forget about pace. This feels like it should be worse for Talon. So, give them credit for only making this 4K. Is the gate being used?
Jabs needs to be really careful here. It's going to get jumped by Quinn.
Drums popped. Quinn not going to find anyone, although 23 Savage with the recently picked up Harpoon is available. And that's going to get forced out by the Black Dragon. And one thing that Gaimin have to keep in mind when they go for this eventual rush is they're going to continue on to 23 Savage now. Not going to be able to do enough to get that borrowed time, but the rupture is going to come. He's going to TP out, and borrowed time does activate, which means that's an opening for Roche potentially. But you have to be careful because there is an Elder Titan, which is a Roche defending god. That's in his lore.
Do you think 33... how many times am I going to say 33? Do you think 23 could have just run there? Instead of TPing? I feel like that wasn't necessarily a requirement, but maybe he was worried about getting roared, because as you said, it's the only stun they have, so... He gets ruptured, he could just run to his tier 2 tower and heal on the way.
Yeah, he could.
But maybe it wasn't going to end well, I'm not sure. Gaimin end up taking the tower, forcing that TP out. Now again... When is this Abaddon gonna kick in? Because so far, hasn't really done anything. I think the pick is very good conceptually. Maybe the Manta will change things. Quinn is offering himself up here. I'm not gonna go on it. Oh,
nope, charge is coming on. Quinn actually hits onto 2 heroes. Jabs with the last, but instantly roared and destroyed. Q is next. And just like that, 2 members of Talon deleted. That increases the lead to 7K for Gaimin Gladiators. And now they can get the tier 2, and they could likely just steal this Tormentor as well. Or go for Roche, potentially, but they're not on. Oh, yeah, looks like they will go for the Tormentor. Will Tofu get tankier with this? Or will Grab Ally be there? It is Tofu's tankiness.
Shield of the Scion.
And just like that, we're approaching double-digit net worth lead for Gaimin, as now they have pretty big map control.
Yeah, so that jump that they went for there on the Queen of Pain, I think it was, it makes sense, but I feel like they weren't fully in range with the heroes that had to follow up. I think Lina needs to be a bit closer, and you need to layer it more perfectly with your chain stuns.
Have Atos and the Mystic Flare, but the quick Force Staff, well, he's just going to get ruptured and brought down. Another easy pickoff. And the LSA on the other side, so Talon able to get a trade of sorts.
You dead.
Okay, Hurricane. Quinn knows somebody's nearby. Or does he? Quinn opting to go for the Lincoln Sphere. The fact that he's been able to not have to go for that yet is kind of an indication of how this game has gone. The lasso not as big of a threat as it may normally have been. But now Ace, very difficult to take down, has the BKB. You can see on the net worth that Dyrachyo is leading the way by a very large margin. And Talon left to kind of just split push to some degree. Push these lanes as much as possible. Gaimin's still yet to take Roche, though. I feel like this is normally the time, the 26-minute mark. And they're highlighting that area now. The scan comes out, though. Is that... Oh, both scans actually use. One bottom and one top. Gaimin seem to be fine with just continuing to farm the jungles. I guess perhaps they're waiting for this Blood Mist to come online for Dyrachyo. It's only 700 away, and with that Aegis, it's going to be a very powerful pickup. But now a Manta for 23 Savage. The universal item. And first Roche, not going to be contested whatsoever. Although Astral Spirit will get the Echo Stomp off it a little bit too late.
This is the second Rush.
Is that the second? Oh, yeah, you're right.
They killed it early with the Beastmaster, so this one's a cheese for Quinn, and they put the Aegis on Dyrachyo. And the last time they had the Aegis on Quinn, he could play very aggressively and up front. This time, he's still tanky enough that I think he can frontline with that cheese. It's unlikely he gets full-on burst in one stun combo, so Gaimin Gladiators will have a lot of place available to themselves, and they're going to keep up the tempo. They're going to smoke here, run into Talon, who may be suspecting this, but...
Yep, Ace, his smoke is popped. He knows it's from the north. Quinn continuing to chase, but Q able to charge out. Now the full disengage from Talon. Although 23 Savage, he's left alone. Will immediately dispel that Shadow Strike. Now going for the Wisdom Rune. And will he make it to the Wall of Secrets?
Is that what it's called now?
Yep. Just can call it something different every time.
The Wall of Secrets.
I mean, what does it matter? It's just a
What secrets does it hold? I wonder what's behind it. Oh, it's the Dire Base.
That's right. It's a secret.
Very secret.
Well, you secretly can't go through it unless you have any mobility spell, which is a lot. All right, Gaimin. Gonna try to poke the high ground, but there's the initiation onto Dyrachyo. That's the Aegis guy, remember. But he's put in a pretty bad position. Nice Sonic Wave comes out, but the instant silence with the Curse of Avernus has to pop the cheese for Quinn, will blink away. And Dyrachyo and company able to get the Elder Titan. There's the Rupture onto 23 Savage, but able to walk it off with that borrowed time. A pretty good defense from Talon.
Great defense. It cost them an ET buyback, but they kill the Aegis and they get rid of the cheese as well. And that could have gone even better. Was actually pretty close to potentially getting a secondary silence onto Quinn with the Abaddon, and maybe, who knows, could have potentially been enough, but yeah. Dyrachyo was not expecting that. It was a very quick jump, very quick Linken's break into pulling him into the base, and that's something Gaimin Gladiators don't have without Grab Ally. They don't have a save, so I think...
Oh shit, I forgot to mention that before
it's
the game
going to be
started.
pretty important for him to get that shard, and he has queued it up now on Celery. Oh, that is about... Okay, can we get a replay on that? I think it's 0.1. That was insanely close. That's one of those where you wouldn't even be surprised if it somehow hit him in base, actually.
Quite possibly.
I don't even know if 0.1 is right. This is like really close.
Let's see. I hope it's not even close to 0.1.
Oh, trust me. I know my shit.
Oh!
I think it was 0.01, actually.
Yeah, that was,
that was
insane.
That was one server tick off hitting. Wow.
If this was a higher tick rate, if they had Counter-Strike tick rate, then maybe.
Yeah, it might have hit.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Luckily for Talon, we're stuck on 30 tick,
Radiant's bottom tower
which
is
doesn't
under
really matter
attack.
for Dota. Unless in very extreme cases.
What heroes do you think it would be noticeable on if we had 128 servers?
Maybe Pudge Hook. I think any skill shot would be more noticeable.
Okay.
But I don't think it's like that noticeable.
What about Sniper?
No, not at all.
He has a gun.
I mean, he does have fast projectile.
Yeah.
I think anytime a spell is cast at the same tick, we just need to find out how often that actually happens in current Dota, because that would change the interaction.
Dark Pact? How often does that proc?
Quite often. I don't know. Maybe every 0.1 or something.
Yeah. Very riveting conversation.
Yep.
Thank you, Sunsfan, for
I love.
that.
Hey, I love tick rate conversation.
Yes, you do.
When will we get to tickless rate
Oh.
in Dota? Huh?
Tickless rate.
Tickless.
Tormentor killed. Quinn will get the shard for this. Celery as well as Dyrachyo teaming up for that one. So that's going to be the Blink Silence, and Undying, the unfortunate loser, will have to buy his own Tormentor because he's a loser. Shard, I mean, not Tormentor. Maybe he buys a Tormentor. There's a lot of gold.
If you can spend 2,000 gold to get the Tormentor to respawn, and then you get refunded 1,400 in a way, is that worth it?
What?
It's a 600 net worth loss
For what?
to get more shards.
You buy your shard then.
Yeah, true.
What are you talking about?
But you get the gold back too, Cinderin.
This makes no
You ever
sense.
think about
This
that?
is actually just...
This is where the conversations go when there's a lapse in the game.
We haven't done this in a while, but I think I might reintroduce the system where I rate our conversations live as we're having them. That one was a 0 out of 10 from you. That was
First
really...
of all, the rating is 1 to 10, so that's not really
I decide the rating.
0 to 10.
I am the taskmaster. It
okay.
gets a 0 out of...
So there's 11 numbers.
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
Okay.
Oh, charge connects
Wow,
from Q.
2
TP's
TPs
coming in. Tower
they
is
also get
taken
the
out.
tower.
Quinn will find his target, but Q pops the BKB.
It's a short
Gonna get
roar.
roared
It's a short
and
rupture.
ruptured. That's a lot of spells.
All right,
for
they got him.
a cow. Space cow deleted.
Wonder what
Gaimin.
Space Cow tastes like.
Here we go. This conversation is a 0.
Astral beef.
Okay. Yeah, you improved it now.
Yeah, it's good.
Has a lot of dark matter in that meat. Delicious.
Lovely.
Well, low kill score this game, so very slow pace, but Gaimin have taken full advantage of that by just farming the map and extending their lead with each Aegis, despite not really using the Aegises that impressively.
Yeah, they're still building advantages with them. They might not be getting buildings because it is pretty hard to siege this game into the BAT and ET, but at the very least the net worth keeps going up, so it's a healthy sign for Gaimin Gladiators. Still, doesn't feel like they're out of the woods yet in a game like this. Abaddon is starting to look pretty scary, and the Lasso will always be that X factor when you're playing without the save, but obviously the Undying Shard will come into play at some point. And we'll see how they're going to approach handling that. Maybe you're going to charge him as you lasso if you see both heroes. Because I really don't want to count Talon out. I've seen Spirit Breakers just absolutely pop off late game as a 4 with this kind of farm. It's definitely possible. Scotty is about to be there for 23. Tons of slows stacking up. Good stats. The hero hits pretty damn hard.
Yep, and one of the best Blink Dagger carries in the game as well. He's going to harpoon some potatoes and tomatoes. As the BKB now online for Dyrachyo. As you can see, Gaimin looking to fight. They're going to scan, which initially found somebody.
Most people would harpoon fish, but 23 is vegetarian, so he's going to harpoon the potato.
You can't harpoon fish very easily in this game, unless there's a Slark on the other team.
Slargar, Naga Siren.
Or a lion with a proper cosmetic.
Yeah.
14.5 minutes slower.
Yeah, he got a late BKB this game. He's been getting some totally different build-up items.
I feel like that's a benefit almost, though.
Yeah, it's good. If you don't have to buy BKB early, it's awesome, because now it's a really long duration later in the game.
Jabs looking for a lasso target. It's going to be Celery. And he's going to die.
God, Flame Cloak is just so funny to me.
He still doesn't have Shard, though, so not, without that grab ally.
Yeah, definitely would have saved him there. I'm sure he would have got it off.
Well, what I'm saying is, as a target, not as valuable because he doesn't have the Shard.
Well, that makes it even more valuable because now he can't afford it yet.
Yeah, true.
You're making some really bad comments so far.
Thank you.
I'm impressed.
0 out of 10?
Even for yourself, you're truly... You've outdone yourself this game.
I'll take that as a compliment somehow.
Yep, that doesn't surprise me, really.
23 Savage has the Scotty now. He's, I think, ready to go almost.
Yeah, as a universal hero, that gives someone that nice damage with those all stats. I think it's like 46 damage you get out of Scotty as universal hero, and he's eyeing up an Abyssal next. I assume he's going to replace his Midas for Abyssal and then upgrade his dagger to Swift Blink, and then maybe get a Daedalus last slot instead of the Treads, perhaps, if we get that far.
Sure.
We'll see if we get that far, though. This is a potentially game-deciding fight coming up. Gaimin Gladiators against Talon in the Rosh-off for the ages and for top 3.
Hawk is going to spot 23 Savage. He quickly eliminates him, but blinks right into Tofu, gets the silence off with the Curse of Avernus. But he's still taking massive damage. Already pops his ult. And he's in a bit of trouble. Dyrachyo with the Blood Mist continuing to pound upon 23 Savage. Ace still has Roar. And the rest of Talon not interested in helping or fighting in any capacity. And will try to get the hell out of here.
Yeah, that was just flat out not a good engage there. It's understandable that you feel confident as a Baron, but the follow-up has to be there if you're going to go for that. He's going to give them vision, then Lina has to be able to burst the Skywrath there, or you need to get a charge or something, or lasso, like literally anything, but kind of went in 1v5, and yeah, that was just not going to work. So that'll be the third Rosh. This one gives a Refresher Shard. Reckon you'll put that on the Beastmaster probably, so you can roar the Abaddon, force his ult, and then roar him again. Possibly. Could also have put it on the Queen of Pain for the double Sonic, or...
You could go for the quadruple Rupture.
Yep.
But Dyrachyo is still a level off.
That's fair. I don't think Rupture is that good this game that he can use 4 of them. I think 2 will be more than enough. Trying to find a Mind Breaker.
Jabs trying to force somebody back from Gaimin Gladiators right now in that bot lane, but they seem to have their sights set on the mid lane for now. Want to get good usage out of this Aegis. The cheese right now is actually on Celery.
Yep.
Which is a bit surprising. Okay, never mind. Passes it off to Tofu.
It's unfortunate. I mean, it's definitely... There are a lot of ways of improving Celery. Cheese is one of them.
Ranch?
Can't say it might improve Tofu as well, so...
Yeah, well, Tofu needs something to be combined with it to taste like something.
I don't know if cheese with tofu, that sounds a little bit weird.
Melted cheese, maybe.
Maybe garlic.
All right, Shard finally purchased by Celery, so grab ally.
Unlock.
Activated.
Activate grab ally.
Only one charger on the drum for Ace at the moment. We'll see what his choice is in terms of upgrading it. Maybe we'll finally get to see the Boots of Bearing.
Boots of Base here. They're
going with the shield rune.
Yeah, breaking the Lincolns.
Yeah,
good reaction.
Can't find him. Rupture on the 23 Savage. Just has to walk it off. Doesn't really want to use his ult if he doesn't have to. But it will be popped finally by Dyrachyo.
Did cost him his BKB though.
Yeah, but they do not have lasso. So still a tough engage, but they do have Elder Titan, of course, which is the ultimate high ground defense. But the Tombstone is down, ready to grab any ally within range.
These Abaddon Illusions cannot take care of that.
Tower
Sure
dead.
again.
Yep. And Quinn, he's going to jump in. Fortifications popped. Only going to delay a bit, though. Flame Break. Not going to do too much, as this is a slow siege onto this mid lane. I think Talon will, I would assume, just have to give this up before their spells come back online. And they'll do just that.
Nice push. That's very good.
So very slow and methodical push from Gaimin, but it is successful. They still have that Aegis, hasn't really been threatened at all.
It's clean because they force the Abaddon ult, and all they use for it is the Bloodseeker BKB, which might seem like a bad trade-off, but with the Aegis in hand, he doesn't need it anyway. So Talon can't really engage into them. Now we're looking at top lane next on the menu for Gaimin. No creeps just now, so backdoor should be kicking in a sec.
Smoke from Talon. They want to try to get some sort of a jump. It's going to be difficult with that Linken's on Dyrachyo, though, and the Aegis, of course, but a big charge coming in. LSA does catch Dyrachyo as the ET ult comes out. Dyrachyo will pop the BKB, gets the Gleipnir on the lead on the sideline. As the last one, they're trying to get something out of this. They'll get the Skywrath to start. We can see completely separated from their team. 23 Savage tried to TP back to base. Instead, he gets roared. Will blink during the borrowed time, but now he's just stuck in this spot. Nice charge onto several heroes from Q. They're going to be able to get the Aegis at the very least, but it's going to cost them their Abaddon. Does have the buyback, though. See if they force this out. As the Gleipnir comes out, Mystic Flare still there. Double kill for Tofu. Buyback from the ET. I think they're looking for more of a dive before the Abaddon will buy back. 23 Savage holding on to the buyback for the time being.
Could he really not blink any further in the Abaddon there? I thought that was going to be really good for them.
Yeah, I'm not
He
sure.
undershot his blink. He could have blinked into base from where he was. Obviously, one of the luxuries this hero has is when his ulti is running, you take 0 damage from anything, so you can always blink in connection with it. But he went for a mini blink. That was really weird. I was actually very impressed with how Talon approached that fight, but felt like 23 dropped the ball a little bit on that engage. If he gets back to base, I think he survives. Oh, hang on.
Yeah, instant silence onto jabs.
Stomp not gonna land though.
And Talon, they did get the Aegis, but it cost several buybacks. And now, Gaimin Gladiators looking to take their second set. Jabs on the back line, looking for a lasso target. Linken's is popped. The cheese activated though. Dyrachyo back to full HP. Again, a very slow siege. Lots of ways to delay this for Talon, and they've bought enough time for their Abaddon to be back. But the roar from Ace, Gleipnir to follow. LSA to try to give him some space as a big charge comes in, but Q's just getting destroyed. Pops the BKB, trying to run away now. Sonic Wave heals 23 Savage, who just joined this fight. So Gaimin Gladiators not able to find a pickoff, but a couple big ults now down for Talon. As this Tombstone is placed. 23 Savage looking to take it out. He does so. He's going to get sheeped. There's another lasso. Finally back up after all this time. Charge in onto Tofu. They will get the Skywrath.
Oh, wait, they got Dyrachyo in the stump.
Yep, Dyrachyo's in a lot of trouble. They're going to be able to burst him down with help from that Harpoon. Laguna Blade onto Celery. Do they have the vision? Indeed. So they find 3 kills. Previously cost a bunch of buybacks. They did lose their racks, though, so that's 2 sets now in favor of Gaimin, which I think will still, despite that sloppy exit, be happy with this.
Was that 8K gold? Weren't they down like 24? Maybe they're only down 22. That's pretty crazy. They got a lot out of that. Losing 2 lanes is definitely something Gaimin are going to be very happy about accomplishing there. And now, the thing for Gaimin is I don't think they can end the game without an Aegis. So there will be one more Roche in them. And Talon, they cannot afford to drop the ball on the next one. Yeah, they have to come up big or it's going to cost them. But at the same time, this lack of buybacks here, they might just get a lane of their own, actually. 45 seconds on the Dyrachyo.
They definitely have time, and jabs.
Abaddon pushes stupidly fast as a core.
Yes.
So,
and with Makoto there as well, the fortifications popped.
tower's gonna fall in the blink of an eye to 23 once this...
Creeps did die, but another wave comes in, and I think you're right. I think this will be a set of racks.
Have another glyph.
For Talon. 30 seconds till Duracio's back. The Hawk scouting out jabs.
It's a good Hawk.
He will not be surprised by him.
Does he not see it? Oh, he sees it now.
That was
Like,
about a
standing there with a jab.
15-second late reaction there.
All right. I mean, 10k swing.
Yeah.
Racks the other way. This is not over yet. Gaimin need to win this game or the door closes on a top 3 finish, which would be absolutely tragic after winning 17 tournaments in a row. Not even getting on the podium would be a true disaster.
Oh, no. Yeah, next Roche we'll know in 20 seconds, and that probably will decide the game.
Is under attack.
Only 3 buybacks in the entire game right now, but the good news for Talon, it's on their side. So I feel like they can take aggressive plays here.
Yep.
Of course, they don't know all the buyback timers like we do. For example, from both Duracio and Quinn, and actually Ace as well. It's all money related, not time.
Abaddon is pretty close to 25. So we'll be taking the Curse of Avernus talent. Or Avernus.
Do you take that?
Sorry, Avernus. I mean, the other one isn't that good, is it? AoE Mist Coil.
It's incredible. If you get the shard, it's unbelievable.
As a carry?
Yeah, that's when you take it.
I suppose you're right.
You literally right-click everyone that gets miscoiled. It's insane.
Oh, you're right. Yes, of course you take it.
I don't think I've ever seen the other one.
He doesn't have level 4 Mist Coil, though. But I think you're right. You still take it.
That's true. He should have probably taken one.
But you probably still take it. You're right.
And Roche number 4.
Okay, this, I just think...
They're going to scout it out with the Astral Spirit, but we can see nobody from Talon remotely close. So it will go the way of Gaimin.
I really dislike that Talon weren't ready for this. I know this was going to be hard, but I think the way you've set it up now is going to be even worse. Now you're fighting into Aegis, Cheese, and Refresher, and this fight was, I think, was possible to win for them. They're definitely more favored in their own base, but I don't think that can offset Cheese, Aegis, and Refresher. We'll see. I guess the silver lining here is by slowing this down, they should reach their 25 Abaddon talent. I guess Lina might have a shot at getting there if she gets a Wisdom rune, which she would be able to get in 2.5 minutes. The 49 one. Duracio rocking his level 26. We talked about the double rupture. Quinn is 24.5, so not far off either. We've got the Undying, almost level 20. That would be the Tombstone on Death talent, which is really good.
Oh yeah, double grab ally.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm actually surprised the bottom talent isn't 0% pick rate.
Tower is under attack.
Someone must have
That was a misclick.
Yeah, I was going to say, someone must have misclicked.
Okay, 23 stat. Wait, did he actually go the
He
miss?
took the curse.
Wow.
Oh, so you actually just full-on gaslit me and said everyone takes the left one.
Huh?
It's like 13% pick rate.
Everyone takes it, Cinderin.
Are you serious? I just believed you. Why did I do that?
I've never seen a game where they've taken this other
I will
one.
never make that mistake.
I don't care.
I will never.
That stats are lying there. There's no way. The miscoil is insanely good. But he doesn't have shards, so until he takes... That's a lie.
I will
Look at the win rate.
I will give you the win rate, though.
The win rate's insane.
Yeah,
Right?
that's pretty true. And that's true.
True.
Okay. Gaimin. 13k the lead. The thing is, even with this Aegis, I guess what Talon are banking on is if they force the heroes into bad enough position with their bat, that they could probably kill them twice inside their base. So this isn't going to be an easy push necessarily, but Duracio does have a pretty nutty barrier right now.
Yeah, the Hawk scouting things out, immediately killed. Salary's going to get initiated on, though, and deleted, but that leaves a Tombstone with Grab Ally. Now they're trying to focus on the Abaddon, who's trying to kill Sed's Tombstone. And the borrowed time finally activates.
He's ruptured, so he's going to heal to full.
Yeah, but he gets roared after the fact. LSA is going to buy him a little bit of space as Makoto trying to help his carry out as much as he can. Q comes in with the charge as well. Duracio does get the kill just in time. Obviously has the Aegis, but better to be able to heal off the back of that instead. Now the buyback from 23 Savage is going to have to potentially wait for his ult. But now Trying to turn their sight
Dyrachyo.
onto Quinn. Perma-silence coming. Charge coming in. Beautifully done. Dyrachyo very deep in the base. He's going to heal in the midst of another kill. Gleipnir giving him some space, but finally goes down to the Dragon Slave. That is the Aegis. Can they surround him? LSA will not hit.
Timed.
And Dyrachyo gets out as a result.
Oh.
Is under attack.
Not a lot of building damage done, but some buybacks expended.
So Gladiators used both their cheese and Aegis there. Do they still have the they also used the refresh on Dyrachyo. So they actually used all their 3 tools, and what they got out of it was 2 buybacks at the cost of 1. Not the worst hold, actually.
Yeah, I mean, the big one is the 23 Savage buyback.
And I want to say Ace had a really clutch roar there, because I think the way that overlapped with the stun duration compared to the aphotic or the borrow time, if he doesn't roar when he does, 23 could have blinked out. So that had to come out in that moment so he doesn't reset. Now Talon want to try to catch Gaimin Gladiators by surprise if they have a lapse in judgment here or just for a moment aren't aware of what's going on.
Tower is under attack.
This time there's no big barrier on the Bloodseeker, but wisely they're not starting on the Tormentor. That would have been probably a complete disaster. They're going to be scouted out by the Spirit.
Yeah,
here.
disengaging now. Drums are popped by Ace. Jabs looking for a lasso target. Laguna Blade onto Dyrachyo. He's in a lot of trouble. Sonic Wave giving him a lot of space. Dyrachyo, he's going to die. No, he's staying alive just a little bit longer. Pops a BKB. Is he finally going to die? The Abaddon is nowhere in sight.
Grab
Finally
ally.
taking out the Tombstone, but the Grab Ally coming into play again as Dyrachyo is going to live. The borrow time already activated. We'll be able to blink away from 23 Savage. Trying to get him back to base as the BKBs pop galore for Talon. Looks like the Elder Titan's going to die on the back line. As the charge comes in a little bit late from Q,
They got it.
Dyrachyo finally takes out the carry Abaddon, Mr. 23 Savage. That's a dieback. How did Dyrachyo live? That is insane.
He dodged the ET splitter by a millimeter going to the left, or he would have been bursted in the moment there.
And now the buildings
healed
will
up.
melt. They could just go for throne easily. Fortifications pop, Jabs. We'll be able to get out, but they're going to call GG, which means this gets extended to a game number 3. Nicely played from Gaimin Gladiators. This was, honestly, most of the game was very slow and methodical, but they did what they had to do.
Yeah. I think at the end of the... What is Quinn doing?
Chilling.
Yeah, he's chilling. Yeah, a very well-played game. I like both drafts this game. I think what Gaimin Gladiators did very well was identify the targets in the fights and setting things up correctly. They played very well around Dyrachyo in this one on the Bloodseeker and found a way of solving the Abaddon. I guess him being slowed down a little bit in the start and having to play recovery with the Midas did put Gaimin Gladiators in the driver's seat most of the game, and they got all the Roches, right? Like, at the end of the day, how many of those can you give away back-to-back? That was 4.
Want to dominate the gaming world? Join the ranks of dedicated gamers. Subscribe and conquer.